Hello, my friends. I've got a very special guest today, my buddy Kareem, who killed the exam very ferociously. I'm very excited to be interviewing him. We've been working on this PMP villain, trying to get his weaponry all conditioned, and and he went in and he aced it. So, Kareem, how does it feel? Really seriously, how does it feel to be a PMP today? Tell me.
Oh my God, it's magnificent. It's one of those things where you train so hard, very hard for, and um, unfortunately, I thought it wasn't going to be hard or that difficult, man. But no, but last year was very difficult with the emotional stress and everything else, the things that I was going through, and thinking that I was going to pass that exam, right from the all start, and that was not like that, man. I actually took it twice and
Wow.
failed it. Yeah, due to a lot of things that I was going through last year. But I passed my exam January 14th. And
Woo!
dude, it was amazing. Like I couldn't believe. Well, I can't say I couldn't believe it because I trained really hard for it. And I had you, I had Carice, and I had a few of the PMs that went through your course that was constantly doing my temperature check and making
Mm,
sure I was I was on the right path and I didn't give up. And we grew a team of network PMs that were just surrounding me and just giving me a lot of support. But it was magnificent, man. It was
wow.
great. Yeah, it was
Wow.
great.
Wow. I couldn't believe, my good fortune when I got that email. I'm like, already? The year has barely started. Praises.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, yeah, man.
Wow. Wow. I'm
Yeah,
so
Can I ask a
delighted.
question?
Go for it.
sure.
How while taking it, you mentioned that you failed it a few times prior. This time around, did you, as you were answering the questions and going through it, did you just know? Like, did you feel like, okay, like this is it, or did you still feel like you struggled but were surprised to pass?
No, I felt it. I felt it. I'm kind of surprised that in processes because I'm real great at processes, but I didn't get above target, but I got above target on the other two areas. But in processes, I just got target, so I was really surprised. But when I
Positive
seen the
plus.
yeah, I feel like I'm great at processes, but when I seen the questions the last time, this time around, I felt confident about the answers. I mean, they were right there and
Mm.
they were still difficult, honestly. But this time around was like, okay, yeah, you try to trick me up. And normally you always want to, you normally want to consult with the team members and stuff like that. And they threw some stuff out there, when they discussed about what should be updated first, the issue log or the change request. They try to
Mm,
trick you up with those type of things, but I don't know. I just felt it. It was just the answer was just right there, and not
that's
to
good.
say
That's
that,
wonderful.
yeah, not to say that I didn't see it the first two times. That maybe I was just going underneath a lot of stress
Mm.
last year. And Phil, you hit it on the head. You asked me the first time, said, "Well, you want Kareem, but was it that you were going through some stuff?" And I was like, "No, Phil." I feel like I was prepared, but I think it was the emotional stuff. Now, you've been a
Yeah.
great coach and a mentor, brother, and I appreciate you, man. It's been
Oh,
a
thank you.
tremendous support, man, to have gotten to know you, man. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Kareem. Thank you.
Yeah, word
Thank
of
you.
bond.
So I'll just ask some really rapid questions and then we'll let everybody go do the exercise because they're getting ready. I'm sure you're like crazy. I don't have to do this again, but Kareem, they're getting ready to do a mock, a little mock exam.
Yeah.
I'm sure you remember that drill. So
hmm
so let's just jump in to ask you a few really quick questions. Look, really quick questions.
Look at that. Look at that.
That's the man himself.
Yeah. I
So,
gotta show Auntie the Carice. Go ahead.
oh dear. So this thing, you were very dogged and rugged about it, but why? Why did you want it? Why? What was the big deal for you? What's the
Oh,
story?
I hate to put this online.
Well, you don't have to give let's give the abridged version, like the remix.
Well, I work for a federal contract, and
Gotcha.
the one of the one of the guys, I forgot exactly what he did, but he was really high up, and I was asking him for some advice as far as, you know, what approach I should take, and he was saying, "Well,
Mm.
you can do VMware, but I don't see
Ah.
you doing that." He said, "Just based off of, you know, just meeting you and knowing you and stuff like that, I think you'd be great at doing project management." I said, "Really?" He said,
Mm.
"Yeah, man. Like you're great with, you know, dealing with people. You know, you have
Mm.
this kinesthetic chemistry about you,
Mhm.
and you understand people. And I really think that you'd be great at doing project
Mm.
management." And I was like, "Really?" And I couldn't believe that he said it. And I understand, I'm not anything to do with lack of confidence, because I do love helping people or whatnot. But I bought the book, man. I bought a PMP book, and I was
Mm.
like, "What is this?" I mean, it might have it might have taken me about 2 days to get off one page, but it was just so confusing. And but that's what made me jump on the bandwagon, man. And I as soon as I started it, I just couldn't stop. It was just
Mm.
okay. I gotta challenge myself, and it is exactly what it presents itself to be, a challenge.
Mm-mm. Wow. Well, thanks for sharing that. So
Sure.
let's jump straight into the day, Kareem, because we're going to come back. You know,
Mhm.
the manic 60 minutes, 60 questions in 75 minutes. Were you counting the time when you know, and did you take it at home or in a test
Mhm.
center?
No, I went to the test center, and this was this drive was different. But how I manage my time, is that where you're going with this?
Yeah, like, you know, it's 60 questions and people say get done in 75 minutes. Did you follow this kind of breakdown or was yours a little bit ad hoc?
It was ad hoc. Like the first one, I talked to Auntie Kareem before the exam, and she was like, "You know, Kareem, what you should do, and from what I've heard, is that the first 60 questions are always the hardest. So you take more time on that one. Yes, so the 75 minutes, that's exactly what you do." So what I did was is that I took a little bit more time
Okay.
um on the first 60, but I skipped a lot. So I'm sorry, I flagged a lot. So
Mm,
what I did is that if it was questions were too long, and I don't think I struggled any time out of the 3 times I've taken it. I don't think I struggled with time management because flagged a lot.
mm,
So when I got to the end, I just went back and answered the questions and made the corrections that I've seen, and
okay.
then you know, took my little 10-minute break and got to the second set. Um, and actually, I'm gonna keep it real. Like I went into the bathroom and prayed.
There you go.
I went into the bathroom and prayed to the Lord,
Oh,
and
gee.
then you know, jumped into my second set. It was just perfect timing, divine timing, and that one, the second set seemed it was more so related towards the processes,
Okay.
and I couldn't waste a lot of time on that second set. So again, I flagged a lot and got all the
Mm,
way to the end because it's the last set that matters too. I
yeah,
mean, that
yeah.
that last set was really, really difficult.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so when I got to that last set, I think I was maybe, oh man, I might have had maybe like an hour and 5 minutes, and I was only on 134.
Ooh.
So I panicked, and I'm like, crap. So I started to pick stuff and just flag and pick something and just flag it, but so I can get
Wow.
to the end. But I'm like, why are you doing that? So then when I look at it, it said 59 minutes remain. And I'm like, oh my God, I just messed up. So I just told myself, just relax. So just go back. So I
Mm,
went back, ended at 180. I had maybe like 34 minutes left.
really?
So I went all the
Are you a
way.
fast reader, Kareem? Would you consider yourself to be a fast reader?
No, I'm from Philadelphia. We got public school educations. No, no, but no. Yes, I am. I can be a very fast reader, so I have to read really, really fast. You really have to read really fast, and you can't panic. You just have to believe in yourself, and that's something I learned through you.
Mm,
You just have to believe in yourself. And I got to all the way to 180, and I just read really fast and went all the way back So I got to 120, and then I saw when the time was ticking down, it said 5 minutes remaining or something like that. And then I waited till I got all the way back, and they said, unfortunately, time expired.
Mm.
And then I like prayed again. And when I hit it, it said, congratulations, man. I like
Wow.
threw my hands in the air and I like
Wow.
raised my hand. And this older
Wow.
black lady had came, and I swear to God, like I looked at her like she was my mom. I was like, I passed. She was so excited for me.
Oh dear. Oh
So
my
yeah,
goodness. Wow. I
yeah,
honestly, when
man.
I say my year is made,
Word. Thank you,
I'm
Phil.
on top of the world because of you, man. Trust me on that one.
All praises to God.
I gave thanks. I gave,
Yes.
I, because I know how much you worked, and I wanted it for you so badly.
Yeah,
More than
alhamdulillah.
anything else, I wanted this for you. You got no idea. I kept on bothering you to come to class and come to class,
Yeah, yeah,
and I kept on, asking you to come for more classes and more classes
yeah.
because that was the only thing I knew to do. But looking back, Kareem, what would you do differently, if anything? Would you do anything differently?
Um, you told me that before I taking the exam the second time. You said, "You sure you don't want to take some time off?" And I was like, "No, Phil." I I was already, my ego was already hurt. I was already going through some stuff, so I was like, "No, I can do this." But no, I wish I could have listened to you.
Mhm.
That's the only thing. I wish you are a great coach and a great mentor, and you
Thank
know the
you.
direction. You truly do, man. You know the direction. You know the material, and
Thank you.
I wish I could have listened to you and taken a break. So what I did
Yeah.
the third time is did exactly what you told me to do: is take a break.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I took a break. I took a step back. I love to read. I have some books and stuff that I like to read, and I just took a step back.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's
So
great. So, Kareem, what were you doing when you were studying? Let's talk about these two beasts here. We have someone says ITTOs. Now that you've scaled it, what is your perspective about these things called ITTOs?
they're useful to know because
Mm,
when you get to risks, when you get to stakeholders, when you get to resource, um, when you get to what other areas, especially collect requirements.
okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
ITTOs are essential because when you get to the exam,
Mm,
you got to know where you're at.
mm,
And they're going to present itself. So like the team charter is in stakeholders, and the team charter is within
mm.
resources. So you
Yeah.
got to know
Yeah.
where you are at within the processes when you read
It's
those
crazy
exams
you
to be
even
prepared.
remember that.
Yeah. You
You
got to
drank
read
the
really
Kool-Aid.
fast. Yes, I did.
Wow.
It's not a little power. Yes, absolutely.
Wow, wow. What about this breakdown, Kareem? Because everyone wants to know agile, hybrid, predictive for PMP. What is a titration? Is it truly like a 50 agile and hybrid? How would you break it down into 100%? Was it 50-50? Was it 70, 15-15? What percentage was
Ah,
agile in your estimation? Just rough guess.
um,
Just rough,
I
real rough.
I have to say honestly, 60% of hybrid.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, they really try to get you on that one, and about 10% predictive.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
Um,
The
and
rest is going
probably
to be agile, huh?
yeah, the rest is gonna be agile.
That's sick. So that means everyone needs to almost like equally know both sides. You got to know how they mix and meld, and when they give you a question in with agile language, you got to be able to answer it predictively, something like that.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I know my numbers is off, but business environment, of course. I can't
Well,
remember.
no, your numbers are on because agile hybrid predictive is one classification. So we're done with that one. Now, if we wanted to do people process business, we can do another 100. So, would you
Yeah,
say that people and process were about the same or?
I didn't see a lot of processes on this
Really?
one.
That's
Yeah,
so
I did not.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Wow.
I did not. People, oh my God, yes, it was about mainly about people. I can't even
Wow.
tell you how much, but it was 60% because they want you to, they kept asking me, um, a lot of the times, because there's a lot of conflicts between stakeholders and team
Mm.
members, and then it was conflicts between team members themselves.
Oh, wow.
So you
Mm.
need to know how to manage them, or
Mm.
they were having some difficulties with a particular
Stakeholder,
um,
customer, someone.
decision. Like
Oh, okay.
the team members are having problems with decisions. What will you do?
Mm.
And just learning through you. Yeah, of course they just do. Those things they kind of threw you a bone where they just wanted you to, like, would you fire the person? Would you punish the person?
Yes. Yeah.
Would you reprimand them right there in a meeting, or would you pull them to the side? Of course, you want to pull them to the side so you could discuss the issue.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha, gotcha. Good to know that. Okay, let's go to the final FAQ. We have these standard ones everybody wants to know. So, did you read the PMBOK guide? How many hours did you study on your final go round? All this stuff. So, did you read it? Did you read the
Yes,
six or the
yes, I read.
sevens or both?
No, you were right. Phil, you were right, dude. You were right. I just think that, you were right. Yes, you have to understand the six, but yes, if you read the sixth edition, I read the sixth edition from front and back.
Hmm. Okay. And
Um,
what about the APG, the Agile Practice Guide? You came to a whole lot of these meetings, Kareem. So,
yes.
you know, I know that you had it inside. I know that you knew the material right from the
Mhm,
beginning. I
mhm,
knew you knew the material. But how
mhm.
many hours were you studying on average? If we're just going to give like
Oh, dude, that's not. I don't know. I don't know. Like
towards
me,
the final 2 weeks.
the final 2 weeks about prior to me taking my exam, or just overall.
The final, like leading up, because I know that when you first started hitting it, you were going crazy, like you were going
Yeah,
hard, really hard. And then the
yeah,
final, I guess it now became your lifestyle and part of your mindset. So
yeah.
you took your foot off the gas, rightfully, and maybe focus more on being in the right mental state.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
if for you say it for the agile practice guide, I read that one through front and back, but leading up to my exam, it was I can't tell you, hours, man, hours. It was just like how you just said, it was just a lifestyle. You just kind of,
mhm.
you just became a part of it. Even today,
Yeah.
after I passed my exam, I might have taken off a week, but I
Mm.
just immediately started to study for my ACP.
Wow. Wow. Good deal.
Yeah. So I messaged you about, because I'm like, hey, well, what is digital transformation? Because I never heard of it yet, So it's like me studying for or preparing for my interview and stuff. I just had to come
Mm.
familiar with some things that I
We're,
don't know.
yeah, we're going to talk about that when we get done, man. I got some ideas for you when we get done. So that's
Cool.
awesome. So what would you say contributed the most to your success?
Passing this exam,
Yeah.
man. I would have to say, of course, you laying the foundation for us. You giving us the opportunities to meet other project managers in creating the environment for us.
Mm.
You introducing us to Carice and Lovelace and Frank and Deverson. Um,
Yeah, yeah. The
just some
gang.
of the yeah, the whole gang, just introducing these people, and they helping.
Fabricio.
And Fabricio, yes, man, just helping us with the mindset.
I am so happy to even just hear those names being mentioned.
Yeah,
Gives
yeah,
me a lot
just
of joy.
mhm, just creating the environment for us, man, and we were all just pushing one another and just
Yeah.
sharpening each other, man. So
And it ain't over. We're still going hard. We're still doing it. We're still,
absolutely,
yeah. Kareem, look, I'm so excited. I'm so proud of
thank
you,
you, Phil.
man. I am on
Alhamdulillah, thank
cloud
you.
nine. When I say my year has been made, and seeing you just makes me so happy coming on here,
Alhamdulillah.
again. So thank you very much. I'll go
Hmm.
ahead and stop the recording and we'll have the after party.
Alhamdulillah. I appreciate that. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, everyone, for their congratulations, man. I really appreciate it. I worked really hard.
I know you did, man. Thanks so
Yeah.
much. And I will take any questions that folks may have. I'll just put it on pause and see if we got any questions. All right, Victor, let's go.
So Kareem, yeah, you said you had taken the exam before and failed it. I was wondering if it looked the same as when you passed it to when you to previous times.
Yeah, no, it did. It had all the drag and drops, but it was something that was different. It had something on it that was different this time that I have not seen. But once you study the material, who was it? Oh, Phil, I can't remember. I swear. But
Was it in general? Was it
no, it was
so very
something was
recently, people have been making a lot of noise about some terminology like the Parkinson's law, like student syndrome, a few new terms. Is it that or is it the way it's written? Is it written?
Yes, it was the Parkinson's law. It had some other stuff that I wasn't quite familiar with, but I had to slow down and read it because it was all really self-explanatory when you slow down and just read it.
Okay.
So those are the things that I just flagged. But yes, it had the personality types, all that type of stuff. It had the risk, and you had to match this stuff up with the drag and drop. But yeah, you just have to just take your time at some point. You can't take too much time, but some things you're gonna just have to flag. And so yeah, I can't deal with this right now. And
So
just skip
largely
it.
your awareness kicked in, your awareness became heightened in this
Yes.
last year.
Yeah. Just to
Gotcha.
study, man. Just to study and just being exposed to the material.
Yeah.
And after a while, it gravitates, study groups always work.
Yeah. You never gave up. You kept coming, man. I'm so
Yeah.
proud. You kept coming, showing up. I knew even when it was hurting, I'm like, I know Kareem's
Yeah.
like struggling to come, but you kept on coming, man. You kept on showing up for your success, and you're a role model for anyone who feels like they can't do it. You need to do like an inspirational tape for these people. Some sort of message.
Yeah, at some point, I plan on taking that direction, man, because yes, I'm fully aware that I do have a story to tell. But does that answer your question, sir? I'm sorry. I want to take away.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on, and you really are an inspiration to all of us. And
I appreciate it. Thank you.
big congrats.
No doubt. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions for Buddy?
Me, I've got one.
Go for it.
Congrats. All the
Thank
congrats
you.
from Frozen,
Thank you.
Texas. All the
Thank you,
congrats.
Stacey. Thank you.
Did you have anything prior to this, like your CAPM, or did you just jump straight off into your PMP?
I jumped right off to it. I mean, I did. I managed some projects, small projects with a few jobs or whatnot. But honestly, it was. I keep using Carice and Jefferson as an example because they were at some point two women that were just my mentors for a little bit because we were until I got caught up to understand what project management was and how to deal with Agile and all that type of stuff. They spent so much time with me. I remember one day we set up one Friday. We set up from 8 o'clock that night or 9 o'clock that night, all the way up to like 6 in the morning.
I was telling the story last week. Yeah.
Yeah, we were like
Crazy.
dedicated, man. We were dedicated to making this happen. Absolutely.
Awesome.
But yeah, as far as experience goes, I managed some projects, but no, I got the experience through Phil's course.
Awesome.
That's inspiring and awesome at the same time.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. All praises to God. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Great stuff. So I know Stacy's gonna get PMP eventually. She may say no, but she will. I know she will, because she got in her DNA. She loves this stuff. We just need to keep giving her some more Kool-Aid on the regular.
Yeah. You do have to understand the process. You have to understand where you're at. You have to understand the difference between the communication and the stakeholders. Those things definitely they intertwine together. Resources are a huge thing. It's huge. Resources are huge. I definitely would recommend to anybody because a lot of people struggled on that, and risk as well.
Mm,
Risk is huge on the exam.
true. Those are the beasts, yeah. Because
Yeah.
you know, when Kareem says resources, you got to remember we're talking people, and the resources is the people section in PMBOK. So you got to be all over that, which is what he's saying.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because I know I bothered you so much, Kareem, in the beginning
No, I
about
appreciate
page
it.
25, and then you got page 25 down pat, and
Mhm.
that formed a foundation. It formed a very solid foundation, despite everything else. It formed that foundation, and that's what I've been kind of trying to persuade our friends here. So
Mhm.
if you can put in a word about page 25, please help me right
Sure.
now.
Yeah, no, what you did for me, Phil, what you did for us is that you drew out that outline for the deliverable. And I don't remember what video it was. As I'm looking at, I have two whiteboards right in my bedroom right in front of me. And I still have them, the outlines that you put a video out that I just
Yeah.
followed along. And that's
Mm,
what helped me understand the page 25. I'm like, oh, okay, now this is how the deliverable is used throughout all the rest of the process and maintained. Oh, especially quality. Quality is a huge thing. You got to know the difference between manage and control quality. But
right.
yes, that helped me understand. So if anyone, if if you can find that video, Phil,
Yeah, thank you, Kareem. I'm actually going to pull it up. That's what's making noise in the background. I'm going to put it in
yeah,
the chat. That's the
yeah.
main line. That's
That's
the
the
main
main
line video.
line. That
Yeah,
helped me a lot. It helped me so much.
that's good to know.
Yeah. And I just followed along. I just put it, I have the whiteboard right in front of me. And it helped me. I got like sticky notes on it to help me understand, certain processes
Mhm.
and whatnot that's connected to them as well.
That is so helpful. So, folks, I put that in the chat, and it's this video where I'm walking through, the flow, how you get the deliverable and how it gets checked. And because to be quite honest, this is like taking page 25 and even distilling it down to more of the essence, the whole story, putting the whole story together. So good
Yeah.
deal.
No
All
doubt.
right. Well, thank you, Kareem. Appreciate
No,
you. Thanks for the questions, folks.
thank you. Appreciate you.
Okay. Hopefully we'll see you again and have a more elaborate discussion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congrats.